We did not stop anybody. There are over 30 licenses that were issued. So those people who are making noise, they should also go and put up plants. By end of October, all the 4,000 tankers will be here. But by end of November, we'll have total on the road 10,000, I think 250.
Dangote has done a very great job by ensuring that there is this size of investment, and we all support that. But while we are supporting that, we need to be in business also. And the way to be in business is that everybody understands exactly what their limits are.
Let everybody do the business so that there will be alternative. If something happened to Dangote today, we'll know where to fall back. Just like what happened to all our refineries, the NNPC refinery. What happened to us? We run into trouble. Concentrate on that, refinery. If you are doing the refinery work, those trucks, those distribution will distract you. And that's exactly what happened to an NNPC. And that's why we are crying that what happened to an NNPC should not happen to Dangote.
You are saying that there will be lots of jobs. Are our own tankers going to be driven by robots? There are no robotic trucks now. There are trucks that, yes. And by the time you take a workshop manager, mechanical, electrical, okay, people who look after tires, people who look at logistics, movement of the trucks, dispatch, back office. Every truck is about 6 people. The best option that I believe, if people now really want this market to open, is to encourage, not only us, is to encourage everybody.
We have a situation where similar experiments have been done in the areas of cement and sugar and other things. And what has Nigerians got for that? What is the price of cement today? And what is the guarantee that it will ever come down to 400 naira?
So you see that impact. We come down home to our country, Nigeria. You really recall a time they say our consumption is about 60 million liters a day.
Yeah.
Now, Dangote Refinery has revealed to us that it's just barely half of that.
Yeah.
And you recall that the subsidies have been paid over the years on the basis of Nigerians consuming 60 million liters a day. So a lot of revelations have come up. You know, facts have been revealed.
Thanks to this refinery.
Nigeria, the land of crude oil, a nation that bleeds black gold, yet constantly suffer fuel scarcity. For decades, the story has been the same. Oil-rich Nigeria, depending on imported fuel, plagued by queues at filling stations, and trapped in a circle of subsidy and scarcity. But then hope came. The Dangote Refinery, a 650,000 barrel a day mega project, hailed as the miracle that would finally end fuel importation and save Nigeria billions of dollars. It was supposed to be Nigerian salvation, but instead it has sparked Nigerians' newest war. Today, Dangote is locked in battle, not with foreign competition, but with Nigerians' own workers and marketers. Nupeng, the powerful oil workers union, accused him of union boasting. Depot owners and fuel marketers accused him of unfair pricing and monopolistic practices, and the government struggling to hold the peace. So the question is simple yet explosive. Is Dangote saving Nigeria from fuel dependency, or is he strangling the very system he claims to rescue? This is the story of Dangote vs Nupeng and the oil marketers, Nigerians' new petrol war. When Dangote Refinery was first announced, it was wrapped in glory and national pride. A $19 billion project, the single largest train refinery in Africa, and a symbol of what private enterprise could achieve where government had failed. For decades, Nigeria had government-owned refineries: Port Harcourt Refinery, Warri Refinery, and the Kaduna Refinery, but they collapsed one after the other, plagued by corruption, sabotage, and neglect. So when Dangote stepped forward, Nigerians believed here was a man who had already dominated the cement market, the sugar, and as well as the salt market, now promising to solve Nigerians' fuel nightmare. The expectations were sky high: cheaper petrol, no more import bills, draining Nigerians' foreign reserves, job creation for thousands of workers, and for once, a refinery that actually worked. Politicians hailed it, economists praised it, ordinary Nigerians prayed for it. But in business, as in politics, power attracts enemies. And in the oil sector, Dangote's rise was never going to go unchallenged, because to dominate the downstream oil sector meant disrupting an entire network: unions, depot owners, middlemen, and marketers who had profited from the old system. And soon enough, the cracks began to show. The first battle was not about petrol pricing, it was about people. Nupeng, the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, has long been one of the most powerful unions in the country. Its members, tanker drivers, oil workers, loaders, and the artilleries of Nigerians' fuel distribution. When Nupeng sneezes, Nigerians' filling stations catch a cold. So, when Dangote recruited 4,000 new CNG-powered trucks to transport his fuel, Nupeng expected these drivers to join their ranks. But they claimed Dangote had other plans. According to Nupeng, Dangote's refinery blocked drivers from joining the union, removed Nupeng stickers from trucks, and instead created a new association, the Direct Trucking Company Drivers Association. To Nupeng, this was nothing less than union bursting, a direct attempt to weaken their power, reduce their membership, and sideline them from the most important refinery in Africa.
Normally, Nupeng doesn't pay salary. They don't have salary scheme. They don't have salary scheme for drivers. It is the owners who pay salary to the drivers. They are all in the purview of owner. Or what they do, they are only just the drivers are my member. They don't have any other benefit they achieve from there. So since I have gotten a lot of benefits here, I decided to join Direct Trucking Company Limited, because if you look at the benefit, I think me and my family will survive.
Tension rose. Meetings were held. In September of 2025, a memorandum of understanding was signed with government and labor officials present, guaranteeing workers the right to join any union of their choice. For a moment, peace seemed possible, but Nupeng soon accused Dangote of violating that deal. Almost immediately, stickers were removed, drivers were coerced. A betrayal of trust, they say. Dangote's camp denied everything. They insisted workers were free to join unions, that Nupeng was exaggerating, and that the CNG truck initiative was not about union, but about energy transition and cutting logistics costs. But beneath the accusation lay a deeper fear, because if Dangote succeeds in controlling his own trucking by passing the old Nupeng drivers, then Nupeng's grip on fuel distribution weakened forever. And for a union built on power, that is an existential threat. If the union battle was about workers, the next battle was about money. Nigerians' fuel marketers, represented by DAPPMAN, the Depot and Petroleum Product Marketers Association of Nigeria, have long been the middlemen of the oil trade. They buy fuel in bulk, store it in depots, and sell to filling stations across the country. With the Dangote Refinery, that middleman role is under threat. Marketers accuse Dangote of selling fuel cheaper to foreign buyers while charging higher prices locally. They claimed Dangote timed price reduction to coincide with their own cargo arrivals, forcing them into losses. They cried foul, saying this was monopolistic behavior designed to crush them and dominate the market. Dangote's response was blunt. He said the refinery was producing enough for Nigeria and still had surplus for exports. Exports were not evidence of neglect, but of strength. And as for pricing, the market was deregulated. If marketers couldn't keep up, that was their problem. But then came the counter-accusation. Dangote claimed some marketers were engaged in round-tripping, buying fuel locally, exporting it to neighboring countries, and then re-import it to profit from price differences. In other words, while marketers accused Dangote of manipulation, Dangote accused them of sabotage. It was not longer just a business dispute, it had become a war of survival. So, what is this war really about? At its core, it is not about stickers or trucks. It is not about who gets cheaper petrol, foreign or local. It is not even about union rights. The real fight is about control of Nigeria's downstream oil economy. For decades, Nupeng and the marketers control the artilleries of fuel supply. Unions had the manpower, marketers had the depots, and together they had leverage over government. But now, Dangote threatens that balance with his own refinery, his own trucks, his own direct supply to filling stations. If Dangote succeeds, the old players risk becoming irrelevant. Nupeng loses members, marketers loses customers, and the old system of shared power collapses. This is not just a fight about business, it is a fight about survival. And the truth is, Nigeria has never seen this kind of battle before. One man with one refinery standing against unions, marketers, and decades of entrenched interests. But while Dangote, Nupeng and the marketers fight, ordinary Nigerians are caught in the middle. For workers, if Nupeng is sidelined, thousands of workers could lose bargaining power, benefits, and protection. The union itself could shrink in relevance. For marketers, if Dangote cuts them out, many depots may close, some may go bankrupt. The distribution network could shrink, leaving Dangote as the single dominant supplier. For the consumers, the short term could mean strikes, blockades, and fuel shortages. Prices could rise as battle intensify. But in the long term, if Dangote truly reduces logistic costs and produces enough fuel, Nigeria could finally see cheaper and more stable petrol. For the government, this is the hardest balancing act. Support Dangote too strongly and the unions revolt. Side with the unions and the marketers, and Dangote may pull back, hurting supply. The government must manage not just economics but also politics, perception, and stability. And above all, there is a bigger danger, a monopoly. Because if Dangote becomes the only game in town, controlling refining, supply and trucking, then Nigeria risks trading one power for another, moving from dependence on foreign imports to dependence on one man. And so, Nigeria stands at a crossroad. On one hand, Dangote promising cheaper fuel, independence from importers, and a new future. On the other, Nupeng and the marketers fighting to protect their members, their businesses, and their relevance. Is Dangote the savior of Nigeria's fuel economy, or the architect of a new monopoly? Is he fighting for Nigeria or fighting for himself? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, this war is far from over. And as always, it is ordinary Nigerians, the man at the filling station, the woman running their generator, and a taxi driver searching for fuel who will pay the price of this battle. Nigeria's petrol war has just begun.